I'm sharing the screen. Madhu, I'm audible, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Okay. So we have 80 people. We'll see if we'll have more. Then we'll start. Okay, like we'll wait for 2-3 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. Please mute yourself. If you have any questions, then you can unmute yourself. But now, please mute yourselves. Later, but you can ask questions if you participate now. And yeah, it will be.
Excuse me.
yeah.
So how long
So
can
I'll
this
eat it,
meeting
so
do
now.
possibly right now?
It will be like roughly it will be 1 hour.
Okay, thanks.
So yeah, I think we'll start.
Yeah.
So when we started this group, we named it Recreational Math Club, IT Kharagpur Recreational Math Club. So it's still the same, but now it's under UG Reading Groups. So yeah, next slide. Yeah. So what all stuff we are going to cover? So what are we? So what do we do basically? And then we'll just dive into stuff. We'll see some puzzles and we'll look at some math and some theoretical computer science stuff, and then we'll look at some very famous every fresher should have listened. I've heard some of this kind of stuff. Okay, you're going to get 1 crore package. It's going to be very, you just start learning coding and machine learning and stuff, and then it's going to be fine. After 4 years, you're going to get into companies like Google, Facebook. Okay, we will see. Okay, we'll see how much of that is true, and then we'll conclude. Okay, yeah. Next slide. So what are we, right? So this club was started. So what was the motive?
Hello, Madhu?
Promote research culture, students interested
Madhu?
in mathematics and computer science. Yeah.
Yeah, your voice is breaking actually, like little bit.
Okay, okay. So is it fine now?
Yeah, now it's fine actually.
Oh. Is it
Just one
fine
second,
now?
guys. Yeah, like, yeah, it's fine, but yeah, just speak for some time. I'll listen and tell you.
Okay. Anyway, like, so the point is to, promote research culture and bring together some research or just have fun, solve puzzles or discuss about interesting stuff you found out. So we'll typically today we'll look at some puzzles and we'll have some introduction, into how deep the area is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So I'll take over here. So, I hope I'm audible. If I'm not audible, just stop me in between and tell that I'm not audible. Yeah. So let's begin with this puzzle. So, here, like, you have a chessboard here, and it's now white's move. Okay. So you have to do the checkmate in 2 steps. Okay. So if someone can from the audience, if they can tell how can we do checkmate in 2 steps. So this is one aspect of our group
Like
where
take
we look at
30
the
seconds,
puzzle side.
10 seconds, and yeah, please.
Yeah, tell. Yeah, someone was telling something, right?
Yeah, may I speak? Am I
Yeah,
audible?
yes, tell. Yeah, you're audible.
So we will move the rook 2 steps down in align to the knight, and then we'll
Yeah.
use queen to put off the knight, or even if the player moves the knight, we'll have a clean checkmate.
Like you mean you move
No,
this thing
no, it
here?
One spot above.
Here. Here.
Sir, uh, sir, I have,
Yeah.
I have a
Don't call me
suggestion.
sir. I'm just your senior.
Okay.
Yeah, you can call me. Yeah, call me
So
my
in
name also. Yeah. Yeah, tell.
Hello.
we have to take
Yeah,
queen 2 steps to the left.
Okay. Here.
Then he has to do a first pawn push,
Yeah.
and then we kill the pawn, and then that's a checkmate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's a
checkmate.
solution.
Yeah. So you move this queen here, and then the only possible move is this thing because the knight cannot move because then it will be in check, and
Yeah.
this queen cannot move because it will be in check. So that's why the only step is this, and then you go and kill it here. So it's checkmate. Yeah. And
Yeah.
there is one more
That solutions
puzzle.
are not possible. People are
Ye-
saying move rook go down, and
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that.
Rook.
all
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah. Any movement of rook will be quite like it won't lead to any checkmate in 2 steps. Like in any other step, it might be possible, but not in 2 steps. This is one more puzzle. Like this is you can say this is a very small chessboard, and the question is that you have to place 4 queens in such a way that the queens cannot attack each other. Okay. So if you have a pencil or pen around you along with a paper, you can try to place 4 queens on this small chessboard.
Hello.
So that no queen can attack each other.
Excuse me.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first row from the top and the second column from the left.
First row from the top and second column from the left. Okay, here.
Yeah, and the second row from the top and the rightmost column.
Okay, this one.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
like
the fourth.
respective knight
The,
like a hurricane or something.
Okay, so basically they are placed with this, like how knights attack each other. So
Yeah,
in that is
yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you meant sort of these positions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So okay, so you might be wondering like why are we sort of dealing with this thing? One thing it's puzzle, so it's quite fun to solve this type of things. And another aspect which you guys might not know about is like these type of problems are actually very important in the you can say artificial intelligence point of view. Like here you are thinking logically and solving, but the machines cannot think logically, so they try to sort of find some algorithm, like can you give a step by step procedure to solve this problem. So these type of problems are quite interesting, and it also has some real life applications. So that's why it's quite fun to sometimes solve it, and again after solving we can also think why is it important. Yeah. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, Madhu, you take over.
Yeah, so am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. 1 second. Yeah, right. So paradoxes, what are they? Right, so we'll look at a paradox. The barber's paradox. So we have a village and then there is a barber who will shave all the villages who cannot shave themselves or who do not shave themselves. Only those, right? And whoever can shave themselves, he does not shave them. So do you see any problem here?
Yes.
Shaving off
Who
is a
shaves his
problem.
head?
If the barber shaves himself, then he cannot be the barber. And if he does not shave, then
Yeah.
There can be another barber.
he be a barber.
Yeah, right. So the
So
problem exactly is, so you ask this question whether the barber shaves himself or not. So if he does, then it violates his condition that he only shaves people who can shave themselves. But he's a person who can shave himself, but he's shaving himself. That's a problem, and this concludes that he cannot shave himself, but by by his
Then he'll
condition
have
that
to shave himself.
yeah, right. So right, we just simply defined a guy and then it turned out to be a problem. It turned out to be a paradox. Now, yeah, so someone has an yeah, right. So what if we modify this into a mathematical problem, right? So the barber will convert him into a set and shaving will convert it into set containment. Like we'll see what it is. So let R is all X, X are sets so that X do not contain in X. Makes sense? Like we define a properly mathematical, object. We created a set of all sets which do not contain themselves. Right. So do you see what is the problem here?
Yeah, if R belongs in that set.
Yeah. Does R belong to R? So if R belongs to R, it violates the definition of R. It only contains sets that belong to itself. But now if R does not belong to R, that is exactly what R wants. Then R goes into R. Now it's a paradox. It turns out it is a paradox. We cannot decide if it exists. I mean, it does not exist. But I mean,
That
yeah.
does not
Did we
exist
just
that does not contain it. So it's not like possible.
no? What did you say?
Every set contains itself. So like R
No, every
cannot
set
be.
does not contain itself. No. So take set 1, 2. It does not contain set 1, 2. It contains 1 and 2. That's it. So I mean, do you understand the problem here? So what did they teach you? What is a set is? A set is any well-defined mathematical object. Like you have to define the relation properly of containment. You can't say all beautiful boys or all beautiful girls. But this is properly mathematical, but still it turned out to be a paradox. No, it's not saying 1 is not equal to 1. No. This is, I mean, does anyone understand this kind of breaking math, right? We just defined an object and it turned out to be a paradox. So things should be consistent in mathematics. So what is the problem here? Where did things go wrong? Can someone tell? Yeah.
Does any
You know the name, that's fine.
does any set actually contain itself?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And yeah, I can define sets that do contain itself.
Okay.
Should it be the null set or?
No, null set does not contain
No,
null
set
set.
actually
No.
contains nothing.
Yes, it does not contain anything. So null set is not.
What is an example? I mean,
Can it be power set of a null set?
So what can be a practical example about a set containing itself?
yes. What is an
Well,
example?
it won't look finite. Okay, like
It's
it's something
maybe like
like
an infinite set.
Okay.
yeah. There are many braces, one comma brace,
Yeah.
one comma brace, one comma, something like that.
Okay, it will just go on to be infinite.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's not go there, but okay. I mean, the problem is, okay, what is your argument? The problem is when if a set contains itself, I'm just including sets that do not contain itself. It seems pretty normal, right? Like almost every set does not contain itself. So yeah, you can try, but you cannot
some
really...
people were asking about this set, right, which contains itself. You take this set, X is a set, and X has at least one element. That
Right, someone was asking
X
about
is
the
a set.
barber, and yeah, there was only one
Yeah.
barber.
Someone was asking about the set which contains. So take collection of sets X such that X has at least one element.
Yeah,
If someone is not speaking, can they mute? If someone is not speaking, yeah.
Yeah, so as Arnab was saying, a simple example is set of all sets that contain at least one element. Right, so that suffices as an example. But okay, anyway, go to the next slide.
Yeah.
So to resolve this set, so basically you have to tweak the axioms to not allow this kind of definitions. Right, that is the only possible fix. So Z of C, Zermelo-Fraenkel set theory, it has a set of axioms that does not allow this kind of self referring itself. So that's how they fixed it. Any problem, so you have to define your axiom so that your system is consistent. So it's formal logic and stuff, formal systems. So we will not go there anyway. Yeah, next slide. Right, a very good question is whether the number of naturals are equal to the number of integers. Are they equal, or one is greater than the other? Can someone say anything?
Both are infinite, so how can you compare them?
Right, exactly. Both are infinite.
Yes,
How can you
can't compare.
You can.
But both are different.
But there are different kinds of infinities. Like we
No,
assume.
you can map the integers onto the natural numbers or vice versa in such a way that they form an infinite like mapping, which like when
You
put
mean
them in that
bijection basically?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you can establish a bijection, then it will be a sort of equality, something of that type. You mean?
Yeah.
Yes. So the thing is, we define order over infinities by if we can have a bijection, then we say those two cardinalities are equivalent. Yes, there are many sources of sizes of infinity and stuff. You should.
One is a proper subset of other, so one should be greater than other.
Hello. The integers have to move on. Like 0, there are
Yeah. Whoever is speaking, your voice is getting cut. So can you type it once so that I can see it?
are infinite, but we cannot compare those two.
The mod x is a many to one function.
Just 1 second. I think 1 second. I'll take over from here because I think Madhu has lost connection. Okay, I'll take. Okay, so okay, so if someone's mic is on, so can they mute it once? Yeah. So yeah, as I think Madhu has lost his connection somehow, so I'll take over from here. So so basically, I hope I'm audible. Can someone confirm it?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So
Yes.
as Madhu was telling, that we want to check this question basically, whether like the natural numbers and the integers are the equivalent or not. So he
Hello, sorry,
told
my network
like
is
as
bad, so
yeah. Still, it's been
okay.
breaking actually. Yeah, now it's fine. Yeah, you can take
How
over.
am
It's
I
fine.
audible?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that question, if we move on from infinities, you can study and we can also talk when we meet. And another question is, can we one day hope that all of mathematics is, studied and we have a perfect theory that explains all, there are no more conjectures and everything is explained, and, can we have a complete mathematical theory? And sadly, it's not possible. It's proved that it's not possible. It's proved that there cannot be any mathematical theory that's complete, that has every truth in it. And Gödel proved it. It's called Gödel's incompleteness theorem. So basically, he proved the inability of mathematics to explain everything using mathematics. So the meme explains it, Okay. Anyway, so next slide.
Yeah. So yeah, just add on that. So what exactly this thing means that you have a statement which is true, but you cannot prove it. You can think it of that way. Like you cannot prove it, which he showed that we cannot prove it using the axioms which we have. So that's what it means actually. Yeah. Now next.
Yes. So right, we'll move into graphs and abstractions. The graphs is not the graphs The graphs are some abstract mathematical object, and we'll see what. Right. So there is this puzzle. There are 7 bridges, and there are regions A, B, C, and D. So those regions are land, and basically you want to start at some point and cross all the bridges exactly once and end at some point. So is this possible?
Okay, this is the path.
It's
Oh,
not
from
possible.
point.
It's not possible.
It's a famous problem.
What if we
Oh.
exit the path and come back to another end?
It's not possible because there are 3 land ending with 3 bridges.
It's not possible.
There are 3 lands with 3 bridges. That is why it's not possible.
Right. So if you try for some time, you'll realize it's not possible. This was a famous problem long time ago, when Euler was
before
alive.
a city, I suppose.
Königsberg, 7 bridge.
Yeah, Königsberg.
Yeah.
At least one bridge is left out, no matter what we try.
Yes, because every time when we travel, we use 2 bridges, and so if we start from one and end at other, we'll still can't do it.
Yeah.
There are more than 2 odd numbered nodes.
Yeah. You guys are very much near. Like I guess everyone has told the correct answer. So it's like this guy he showed Euler like it's not possible, and so like how did he show like you guys are like you guys are more or less correct, but it's sort of informal. Like you need to formalize the same like the same stuff actually. So like and the formalization is what we call like graph actually. Like graph you can consider it of this type. Like it's sort of you're sort of abstracting what's there in the real world. Like you have this land here, so you're taking this land and you're making it one circle here. So that circle we can call it as node. Similarly, other lands you can take and you can consider them as node, and the bridges you can consider them as lines actually, and you can sort of show actually
Right.
that
So,
yeah.
yeah, so I had network issues. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Fine. How do you prove that it's possible? Right. Yeah. Right. As Arnav was saying, imagine. Okay. Like remove the specifics in the problem. Right. Imagine each bridge as an edge and each region as a node. And the problem is just you see in this. We call this a graph, right? A set of vertices and edges connecting them. So this is called a graph. And now the problem is you have to start at some vertex, and like you should have played some games when you're kid, like doodle, so that you don't raise your pen and stuff, like you should have played something like that. So now the problem is exactly this: you put your pen at one of the nodes and draw so that you cover all the edges exactly once. Like you cannot write an edge and come back on the same edge, and you have to cover all the edges. Is this possible? Now the question is this: so did someone already prove it's not possible?
They gave informal arguments.
We have more than two nodes which are odd.
Yeah, okay. I see. Fine.
Start from
So
only the starting
Yeah,
and the ending nodes can have odd number of bridges. Rest all
Exactly.
need to have even, because if we enter a node, we also have to leave that node. The only
Yes.
exceptions are the ones where we start and end.
Yes. Yeah. So that is a proof, right? So the proof is basically if you have such a path, covering all the edges, starting at some point and ending at some point, then every internal vertex should have, you should visit the vertex the same number of times as you're leaving it. So the degree of that vertex should be, even, and only giving exception to the starting and the ending nodes. So there should be at most two odd nodes and rest of the even. And as you see here, the degrees are 5, 3, 3, and 3. So clearly it's not possible.
Yeah, just 1 second. Yeah, by degree, what he means is that the number of edges which are connected to this node. So take this node, count the number of edges which is connected. So it's 3. So we say that the degree of that node is 3. So that's the definition of degree.
Right. So from here the graph theory started. If there is a problem, then we try to abstract it using we try to remove the details and then just have some vertices and edges and try to solve it on that. Right. So removing details is what abstraction is. So a second application, go to the next slide.
Yeah, this I'll
Yeah.
take. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is also a very important area, and it's a very interesting area. So just consider this problem which is there in the screen. Like suppose you have 6 boys in a party. Okay, so they are partying and stuff, and any 2 boys are either friends with each other or enemies. Like it's not the case that boy number 1 and boy number 2, like boy number 1 is friend with boy number 2, but boy number 2 is enemy with boy number 1. Like that's not possible. Okay, so either they are friends or either they are enemies. Okay, so just try to prove that there are a group of 3 boys who are either pairwise friends or pairwise enemies. So what I mean is that take boy A, B, C. So there should be a group where A is
Let's take two groups, blue and red.
Hello?
Take 2 groups, blue and red. People who are in blue are mutually friends, and people who are in red are mutually friends. And in between the groups, they are mutually enemies. So I guess it's pigeonhole principle. At least one should have at least 3.
No,
Yeah,
try to put your
but
argument properly.
yeah. That type of argument is looking quite informed.
No, I think
Your
it
point
appears
is
as
that
if
Take 1 point and then connect 3 of them with the red lines, 2 with the blue lines.
Yeah, you're on the right path.
And then we get a triangle whose all edges are in same color.
Yeah, sort of nearby. So I hope everyone understood the problem statement. So let me proceed to the solution. Suppose you have these 6 guys here, and now consider this guy. So if it's red, it means you can consider them to be friends for just the sake of argument. It can be enemies also. So by pigeonhole principle, this guy must have 3 friends at least, or it must have 3 enemies. Let us assume he has 3 friends, but at least 3 friends by pigeonhole principle. Now, if these 2 are friends, then we have a triangle which we want, of triangle of friends. Instead, if we have these 2 guys as friends, then again we have triangle. And if we have these 2 guys as friends, we again have triangle. But if none of the stuff holds true, then we have a triangle of enemies actually, which was the original question actually, where we asked that prove that there exists 3 boys who are pairwise friends or pairwise enemies. So that's what we proved using pigeonhole principle and all. So this is just one small example of a very huge, very big concept, you can say, called Ramsey numbers. Huge number of work is being done in this area. This particular value, you can consider it to be R3,3. In details, we might discuss in future discussions. But this number is quite important actually, and even calculating small values for this also takes time actually. Like it's quite difficult problem to calculate. It's very difficult problem actually. Like now for 6 boys, you could give an argument, but if the number increases, then the argument becomes tough. So this is sort of the idea behind the Ramsey numbers, but we will discuss in detail one day. But I hope you got the crux, like what are we trying to achieve through this one simple example.
So if you abstract this, what can you say is actual problem, right? Basically if there are 6 nodes and you connect, okay, you add all the edges, possible edges, all the 6C2. What is 6C2? 6 into 5 by 2, it's 15. So you add all the 15 possible edges, and each edge you have to color either red or blue, right? Now basically in this situation you have to prove that there will exist a monochromatic triangle. So what is a monochromatic triangle? Either a red triangle or a blue triangle, a triangle of same color, uniform color, right? That is the problem, right? If we remove all these friends, enemies and stuff, it's just you have 6 points and join all of them with an edge and either color each edge with a red or blue color, then prove that there is a monochromatic triangle. So this is a graph theory problem of graph theory abstraction of this, problem with humans and all unnecessary details.
Yeah, Madhu?
Yeah. So that is, okay, we covered, we just touched the surface. We didn't even touch the surface, but yeah, that is math. But okay, what is theoretical computer science? So, okay, first of all, to you guys, what is computer science?
Yeah, just can someone tell, like, if any CS guys there, then especially I'll ask you guys. And also we forgot to tell, we both are from computer science, we are from 4th year. So yeah.
Yeah, right. So anyone you don't need to give a definition. You don't need to look up Google and stuff. Just tell what you think is computer science, what people do in computer science.
Hello.
Yeah.
See, science is basically making something easy, and computer is regarding any algorithm or any structured way. So computer science is making something easy with any structured way and any fixed method or algorithm.
No, I mean, any science wants to do anything simply, right? It's not only computer science. What is specific to computer science? Any engineering is basically trying to achieve something simply in a structured way, as you told.
Problem solving.
Programming and
Make computer do our work through our way of communication.
Use of AI.
I heard programming and some other words, I don't know. Can you tell again?
Programming and code.
Programming and code. Okay, I think I'll call it IT. I won't call it computer science.
Combining different pieces of information through some logical ways.
Hello.
Yeah.
It can be a use of AI. Hello.
Before there was AI, you think it's not computer science what people have done before AI came, It is computer science, right?
Is it to make people's lives easier and reduce human effort, basically?
Any science, any engineering tries to do that, not computer science.
Okay.
Any science.
Is it basically about solving huge complicated calculations?
How the computer figuring out all the processes?
Yeah, okay. Some people have splitted this. I mean, they have told this word computing. What is computing? Right? It's all about computing.
To calculate.
Calculating different pieces of information through some logical ways.
They do things better than a human can do. Something like that.
Like errors can be there in human calculations.
It is like processing
Systematic
data with like certain rules.
Basically used to store the data. Basically used to store data and to solve the problems.
Systematic study of how a computer works.
To teach the computers how to work on some problem.
Logical interpretation of different pieces of data and connecting between them.
Yeah, Madhu, just once unmute yourself. I think someone muted. Like, please, guys, don't mute us. I forgot to change the settings also. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was saying not to say the definition anymore, but yeah, someone muted me. Yeah, fine. So the point is basically we just want to solve problems. You're at a point and you want to go to some place and
Someone is muting us.
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Let me see the settings. Just 1 second.
So this thing even it happened with us when
during one of our classes. Just 1 second. Let me check like how can I change the settings. Is there any
you guys
way we can
get
change?
used to this MS Teams in few days. I don't know.
If someone is trying to mute your system, then don't press mute here. Just go and press mute in your system actually, because this problem happened more during our time. Like someone tried to mute their system, but then they ended up muting others also by pressing mute all and all. So just don't do that. Just mute from your side in your system. Don't try to mute in MS Teams. It won't happen actually. Yeah. Next time I'll change the settings. Madhu, continue.
All the others attending.